Hello everyone, I am Ali and I welcome you to my channel. In today's video, I will be talking about the mistakes you usually make when you are writing an acceptance letter request email for a scholarship application. This email you usually write to some professors or faculty members in the universities where you want to apply. And I will also tell you about fixing the mistakes. So let us start with what is acceptance letter request email. We need to know that acceptance letter request email is a formal email which you usually send to different professors or faculty members in universities where you want to get the scholarship. And those professors or faculty members can be your advisors or your respected supervisors in that university for your master's or PhD degree. So now the question is, why do we need it or is it compulsory? I will answer it for you that it is very important to get these acceptance letter from dean or chairmans or the influential or famous professors in that specific department where you want to apply, because this type of acceptance letter will increase your chances of acceptance of your scholarship application. So now let us talk about the mistakes which you make, because of which most of you, when you send too many emails, still you don't get any positive replies and no professor is willing to give you the acceptance letter. So the start is not choosing the right email provider. This is the first mistake you usually make. Why? Because when you are sending an email, you must select the email which is useful for that specific country. In case of China, if you will use Gmail, so Gmail is mostly blocked in China and it will go to, or it will go to spam. So what you can do is you can opt for some other email providers like Hotmail, Yahoo, Outlook, or other reliable providers which can help you to get the reply. So in China, we know that QQ Mail or 163 Mail, that is, they are very popular emails. How do I know these? That what I did, I just put what are the popular emails in China or email providers in China, or what are the email providers which are not blocked in China. I have put it in Google search or ChatGPT and I got these emails. What else you can do is, the most important thing here is that you can use your university website. So suppose you are doing bachelor in some university and you have a student email address from that university. So that can be the best thing you can use. Or if you are working for an organization and you have any official address, that can be used as well for the communication. But the important thing is make sure that that will stay with you for at least 1 year, so that if you apply for different applications, at least you get, if you get a reply, so you know that you have that acceptance letter with you and it's not closed email. The next mistake you usually make is that you don't choose a right title. The problem is the title is sometimes very vague, it's not clear, and you are using same title for many different emails. Remember, if your title is like this, it will automatically go to a spam, because repetitive titles will be considered as spam by the email provider. So what you can do is you can write like this acceptance letter, and then you can put the scholarship name or university name, application form, and then you can write the name of the professor to whom you are sending. By doing this, your all the emails you will be sending for acceptance letter request, they all will be unique and there will be no repetitive title. Then what you can do is, next mistake is not addressing the professor properly. Most of you don't write the name of the professors, you just simply write respected professor. So it's better to write the name and designation. Suppose if he is a doctor, he is a PhD doctor, you can write Dr. ABC. And if he is a full professor or associate professor or assistant professor, you have to carefully check his designation on the website. And then what you will do, you will properly address him so that he can see that you are very serious and you know his name and other details. Next mistake you make is that usually don't organize the email. So people just start randomly an email and they just write a big paragraph or one or two paragraphs without any structure, and then they just send it. So remember, you should fix a format first, like for example, introduction, then purpose, and then closing, and then make sure that you follow this. The next problem you usually do is that you introduce yourself in too much detail. You start to write too much stories. You start to write about the things which are totally unnecessary, or you start to talk about some other scientists that they motivated you and all these type of things. So what you need to do is you need to just specifically tell about GPA, if you have published any research paper, if you have worked in a company, in an international company, or you have internship experience. You have to specifically write these things to make sure that it's not boring. The next thing is that you don't specify your research interests. So this is very important, that you have to specify your research interest, and that they should be in alignment with the professor's research interests to whom you are sending an email. For example, in computer science, if you just write computer science is your research interest, this is wrong. So what you need to do is, if you are interested in machine learning or software engineering or machine learning applications or software applications, whatever you are, you have to specify your area of interest and make sure the professor have the same area of interest. The next thing is, you don't stay professional in your emails. So what you do, you use a very casual kind of tone, and you don't use any respectful language. You start with hey, hi, this type of things. This is wrong. You have to start with respected professor, and then please provide me a chance to work under your supervision. This type of professional sentences will make sure that professor will be happy to reply your emails. Then next is not highlighting your research papers. So this is very basic mistake you people make, because you are applying for master or PhD scholarship. For that, you need that acceptance letter. And you need to tell the professor that what type of research experience you already have, if you have published any papers in the top tier journals or conferences, and were you first author or the main contributing author of those papers. This is very important to tell to the professor in your email. Don't attach CVs or full professor in the starting email. Then the next thing is, you don't include the scholarship details. You are applying for the acceptance letter email from the professor, and you are not telling him that what is the scholarship name and what are the perks in the scholarship, tuition fee and other things. So if you are not mentioning these, the professor will be confused if he doesn't know about that scholarship. And you saw that scholarship on a university website or some other organization website. So you need to mention these things. Yes, in case if you saw that scholarship on the professor's website and you are sending the email to professor to get that scholarship instead of sending it for to professor only to get the acceptance letter, in that case, yes, no problem. Then you don't need to mention too much details. You can just simply write as the scholarship details mentioned on your website. The next problem you usually have is, you don't express any gratitude. You don't show any high motivation or enthusiasm. You don't convey your thanks or excitement for the application. So you can do it by writing something like this. I'm thrilled and grateful to apply for this opportunity in your lab, and I will be happy if I am considered for this. That will make the email a positive kind of email. Then demanding. Sometimes you are very demanding. You are pushy that I want it, and you must provide this scholarship to me. So this is a big blunder. You just need to use a polite, humble language that I wish to apply for this scholarship, and please provide me an acceptance letter after providing all your details. Then next is, you don't eliminate the errors in your email. So you just draft an email, and your suppose your English is not very good, you have many grammatical or English mistakes. So what you need to do is, you have to carefully proofread the email, and the best thing is you ask some of your friend to help with that, whose English is better if you are not a native speaker. And that's the best thing you can do. And also the other thing is try to improve your writing skills, try to write essays, and try to improve your English writing and communication skills if you are applying for an English communication based country for the scholarship. The next thing is you include the attachments and links in the email, the first email. This is a big mistake because if you are doing this, there are chances that your email will go to the spam. So try to make sure that first email is very precise and there are no attachments, no links provided in that email. The next mistake you make is you don't include any other contact details. So what you can do is you can include your other email or your contact number. These days we have WhatsApp, Google Meet details, or Zoom details, or any other platform details if in case they want to contact you so that they can contact you. The next mistake you make is that you don't do any follow-up. If you have sent an email and after 1 or 2 weeks you did not get any reply, so you need to make sure that you maintain an Excel sheet where you have written when you sent the email to this specific professor in some specific university. So what you need to do is send a polite reminder after 1 or 2 weeks to that professor so that he can reply you, or at least you keep trying it for 1 or 2 times. If he has some willingness to reply you, maybe he will reply you. Otherwise, just keep doing this, repeat for other professors, but don't send more than 1 or 2 polite reminders to one professor. Here, the important thing you need to know is when you send an email to 10 professors, usually you get one response or sometimes even not that. I remember when I applied for the PhD acceptance letter, request email, I sent to around 50 plus professors and I only got 2 replies. But it was China, so China was a country which don't have a very good English skills for the professors at that time. And maybe that is also the reason. But for the European countries or for the countries, English speaking countries, there are chances that from 10 emails you may get one reply. If your credentials or your introduction, your details are good. Then let us talk about the key takeaways. So the key takeaways for this video is that you should start your scholarship journey with a very strong email, precise one and very focused one that can make an impression. The first impression is the last impression on the professor, and he must be compelled to reply you. So this is all. And if you have any questions, you can ask in the comments. Please do like, subscribe, and share this video. And for today, take care and have a nice